There are some secrets on this planet so deeply unsettling that the government literally stepped in to erase them from history. Today, we are diving into 3 of the most bizarre, unhinged rabbit holes that will make you question reality. The last one involves a man who managed to trick the entire world with an island that didn't even exist, and it ended in absolute chaos. But before we get to that, we have to talk about the day a town literally danced itself to death, and science still has no idea why. Lock in, because these stories only get more insane. Imagine waking up, walking outside, and seeing your neighbor dancing aggressively in the middle of the street. No music, no celebration, just pure, frantic movement. That is exactly what happened in July 1518 in the city of Strasbourg. A woman named Frau Troffea stepped into the street and started dancing. She didn't stop for hours. She didn't stop when her feet started bleeding. She didn't even stop when she collapsed from exhaustion. Within a week, 34 people joined her. Within a month, there were over 400 people dancing uncontrollably in the streets. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, why didn't anyone stop them? Well, the local authorities made the dumbest decision in medical history. They consulted physicians, who concluded that the dancers were suffering from hot blood. Their brilliant cure? They built a massive wooden stage, hired musicians, and paid professional strongmen to keep the people upright. They literally thought that if the people just danced it out, they would cure themselves. It did the exact opposite. It turned into a massive, deadly festival. People started dying of heart attacks, strokes, and sheer exhaustion. At its peak, up to 15 people were dying every single day. To this day, scientists are arguing over what actually happened. Some blame a toxic fungus called ergot, which grows on rye and causes hallucinations. Others blame a massive wave of mass hysteria caused by extreme poverty and disease. But the truth is, we will never truly know what drove a whole city to dance themselves into a grave. If you think your appetite is big, you have absolutely nothing on a Frenchman from the late 1700s named Tarrare. This man possessed a medical anomaly that defies the laws of biology. Tarrare had an unquenchable, terrifying hunger. As a teenager, he could literally eat his entire body weight in meat in a single day. His parents literally kicked him out of the house because they couldn't afford to feed him. He ended up traveling around France as a street performer, shocking crowds by swallowing corks, stones, and entire baskets of apples whole. But things got weird. When he joined the French Revolutionary Army, the military rations weren't enough, so Tarrare started eating literal garbage out of the gutters. The doctors were fascinated by him, so they kept him in a laboratory to run experiments. Get ready for this. During these tests, Tarrare ate a meal prepared for 15 people in one sitting. He swallowed a live eel whole without chewing. He ate live cats, lizards, and puppies. The military actually tried to use him as a secret courier. They made him swallow a wooden box containing a top-secret message, waiting for him to pass it, and send him across enemy lines. Spoiler alert, he got caught immediately by the Prussians, stripped and beaten. But the story gets darker. Tarrare escaped back to the hospital, but his hunger grew out of control. He was caught drinking blood from patients who were being treated, and he even broke into the morgue to eat the bodies. Finally, a 14-month-old child mysteriously vanished from the hospital. The staff suspected Tarrare had eaten the baby, and he was chased out of the city, dying a few years later of severe tuberculosis. This brings us to the ultimate scam artist in human history. Meet Gregor MacGregor, a Scottish soldier who managed to pull off a fraud so massive, it ruined the British economy. In the year 1821, MacGregor arrived in London and announced to the elite high society that he had been made the prince of a beautiful tropical country in Central America called Poyais. He described it as a literal paradise. The rivers were filled with gold, the soil was incredibly fertile, and the local indigenous people were desperate to welcome British settlers and investors. He drew highly detailed maps, wrote a 300-page guidebook under a fake name, and even printed fake Poyaisian currency. London investors went absolutely wild. People bought up millions of dollars worth of land, and hundreds of families poured their entire life savings into buying a ticket on a ship to Poyais. In late 1822, 2 ships carrying over 200 hopeful settlers set sail from Britain. When they arrived after a grueling journey, they didn't find a paradise. There were no cities, no roads, and no gold. It was a barren, disease-ridden swamp in the middle of nowhere. By the time a rescue ship found them, more than half of the settlers had died of malaria and yellow fever. Now, here is the craziest part of the story. When the survivors got back to Britain and exposed the scam, MacGregor didn't even go to jail. He packed his bags, fled to France, and tried to pull off the exact same scam on the French public. He was eventually arrested there, but got acquitted on a technicality. He lived out the rest of his life in luxury in Venezuela, entirely off the money he stole from people who bought land, in a country that existed only in his mind. Human history is officially weirder than fiction. If you want more stories like this, hit that subscribe button right now.